Hello, Beatle friends, and hello to everybody else watching. Hope you all are doing wonderful today. For this video, I'm going to show you some of my Beatles finds. I'm going to show you some vinyl finds, some CD finds, and some stuff that I received from one of my viewers. His name is Robert. So, Robert, hello if you're watching. I'm going to show some CDs that he sent me, as well as a couple of records, and then I'm going to show the rest of my vinyl finds. So hope you enjoy this Beatles update video. The first of the CDs I'm going to show you for this update that Robert P sent me is this one, the Beatles open-end interviews. This is a CD collection of all the open-end interviews that were released for promotional use only on 7-inch records. And here's the track list and the open-end interview records. And this one came with an insert from Robert P about a 12-page open-end interview script for the Hard Day's Night record. And here's a CD out of the plastic sleeve. Looks nice. Nicely done artwork from Robert. And I'm gonna show you all the contents in here. First of all, let me show you the CD. Designed to look like the first two open-end interview records released by Capitol Records, color band label. And let me show you the booklet put together by Robert P. Well done, Robert. Booklet looks nice. And this one is the script for the Meet the Beatles open-end interview. Let me go through the booklet page by page. There's the scans of the actual label of the record. This is the Meet the Beatles one. I don't have the Meet the Beatles one yet. This one I have. This is the Beatles Second Album open-end interview. And after I received the record last year, I did a video where I did a fake interview with the Beatles using the script of the interview, which is right here. There's a script that I've read. I read the DJ lines here. And I have a link to that video in the description box if you're interested in checking out my fun interview with the Beatles here. And here's a Hard Day's Night open-end interview. I don't have that one. Help open-end interview. I'm going to show you the actual record shortly after I go through the CDs. Script. The next CD I'm going to show you is Introducing the Beatles, done by Robert P. And this jacket is designed to look like the original ad back cover. I have yet to own the ad back variation of Introducing the Beatles. Someday I will. I don't know when, but I'm still looking. And here's a jacket. And this one has an insert. This is actually a booklet for the Dr. Ebbett CD. I still have plans to do a video showing all my Dr. Ebbett CDs at some point this year. I'm going to try to make that happen. And here's the CD, designed to look like the original VJ record. And it is the VJ Oval label. And this has the stereo and mono mix of version 1. This is version 1 of Introducing the Beatles. As it has Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. And there's the catalog numbers, indicates the stereo and mono mixes are on this CD. Next CD I'm going to show you is Songs, Pictures, and Stories of the Fabulous Beatles. This is Introducing the Beatles version 2. And I have two copies of the original album in stereo. Copy 1, copy 2. And here it is out of the plastic sleeve. Wonderful replica of the gatefold, just like this one. Let me show the inside here. Here's an insert. And here's a CD, also with the VJ Oval label, version 2. Instead of Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You, you got Ask Me Why and Please Please Me. The next CD I'm going to show you is the Beatles versus the Four Seasons. Here's the stereo one. I also have many copies of the mono one, including one with the poster. And here's the back. Alright, took it out of the plastic sleeve, and let me show you the gatefold. And let me show you the insert. This is the original poster that was added as a free addition to the album. But nowadays, a copy of the Beatles versus the Four Seasons with the poster, it fetches for a lot of money. And I'm talking about the authentic one, not the fakes, because there's also fakes of this. And here's the CD with the VJ brackets label. The Beatles versus the Four Seasons. The whole album is in true stereo. On the vinyl record here, some of the Four Seasons songs like Big Girls Don't Cry, and I think could it be Peanuts or something? There's a few songs on the Four Seasons record that are actually in fake stereo, and they play slower too. But I have listened to the Four Seasons tracks, and they are all in true stereo, including Big Girls Don't Cry. The next VJ CD that Robert P. sent me is the Beatles and Frank Ifield on stage. This is designed to look like the original stereo pressing of the Portrait album. This is the portrait cover. And I don't have the stereo of this portrait cover, but I do have the mono one, authentic. Took this out of the plastic sleeve. And here's the first variation of the album, Jolly What cover. And this portrait cover is actually a second variation. This variation was released about a few months after the Jolly What edition. And this is also the Dr. Ebbitt's design for the CD. Here's a CD, the VJ brackets label, the album in both stereo and mono. And I like some of the Frank Ifield songs. This is mainly a Frank Ifield album, more than the Beatles album. There's only 4 Beatles songs on here. The rest of the album are Frank Ifield tracks. There's about 4 Beatles songs and 8 songs by Frank Ifield. And I like me some Frank Ifield, to be honest. I like the Frank Ifield tracks. I get a kick out of them. Okay, the next CD, and the last of the VJ CDs that Robert P. sent me, is the 15 Greatest Songs of the Beatles, all composed by John, Paul, and George, and sung by a group called the Mersey Boys. I don't have the actual vinyl record in my collection. Robert P. had it for sale, but Beatle Brad beat me to it. But I'm okay with that. Beatle Brad can have it. And once again, please wish Beatle Brad all the best in fighting this terrible disease that he's diagnosed with. And here's the insert. Has a bonus track. This one I haven't listened to yet. And mainly because, you know, it's a covers album. It doesn't have any of the Beatles recordings on here. And here's a CD with the VJ Brackets label. Mono only. Okay, the next set of stuff that Robert P. sent me are going to be vinyl records and the CD copy of the particular vinyl record. The first one I'm going to show you is collector's items. I already have a copy of collector's items, but what's interesting about this one is that it's the first variation with this catalog number. And here's my other copy, which is a second pressing. This one, the catalog number is S-Pro-9462, and this one is S-Pro-9463. This variation has I'm Down as the side closer. Well, on the second pressing, you have an alternate outfate stereo mix of Paperback Writer, which closes side 1 of the second variation. And here's the record on the purple capital label. This is the first variation with I'm Down as the side closer. And I forgot to mention, I'm Down is a stereo mix on this pressing, a true stereo mix. And just for fun, let me show you the capital label for the second pressing on the purple capital label. Paperback Writer is the side closer. And this particular pressing I've had for over, I think, 5 years or so. Here's a CD copy of collector's items that Robert P. added as a bonus to the vinyl record. Once again, a great looking jacket design based on the original vinyl album. And this is a CD copy of the Dr. Ebbets CD. This has all songs from both variations of the album, including I'm Down and Paperback Writer. And the 2 bonus tracks are stereo outtakes of She Loves You and I Am the Walrus, done by Dr. Ebbets. She Loves You was never released in true stereo because the multi-tracks were missing. We only got Sleep Deek in true stereo, which was recorded afterwards. Now there is an original stereo mix of I Am the Walrus, but the first half of it is in true stereo, but the last half of it is in fake stereo. The fake stereo bit starts at the Sitting in the English Garden bit, starts from there and lasts all the way to the fade out where you hear the King Lear dialogue. Here's the insert. Oh, nothing on the inside here. And here's the CD. Label designed to look like the original purple capital label. The next thing that Robert P. sent me is the Help Open-End Interview 65 record. Back of it. This record was released as an addition to the Beatles Price Guide for American Records, put together by Perry Cox and Joe Lindsay. And that's the record label that put this out. And it plays at 33 1/3 too. Here's the record in beautiful condition. And as usual, Robert P. added a CD copy of this. And here's the CD with the actual label from the record. Okay, the next vinyl record I'm going to show you that Robert P. sent me is this Beatles interview record with the sleeve. And here's the back of it. On side 1 is the Beatles interview. It's an exclusive interview with the Beatles, and they talk about certain things like Elvis, Donald Duck, and Ringo's rings. And on the B side is an interview with the Dave Clark 5 at a press conference where they were asked about the Beatles, and they talk about the Beatles. And here's the record. The Beatles interview side and the Dave Clark 5 interview side. Also, Robert P. added a CD copy of the interview record. And here's a white label on the CD. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you for this Beatles update video showing all of the stuff that Robert P. sent to me is this one. This is a set of the Dark Horse Records 7-inch labels. They look beautiful. And this is sealed, never open. Okay, that wraps up this Beatles update video showing all the stuff that Robert P. sent to me. I want to say thank you very much to Robert for sending all this stuff to me. I appreciate it very much. And I'm open to any VCLT from anyone. So if anyone else would like to send me stuff, please drop me a line. So once again, thank you, Robert. And thank you to everybody else for watching this update video. Don't forget to watch the next Beatles update video showing a book and all my vinyl finds. Talk to you all later.